And here we go, DAZN Fight fans. The following women's super featherweight matchup is being brought to you by Salida Promotions, Bet Online, ToucanBit.io, Lush Lawn, and Tough Shed. It will be decided in 10 rounds or less, and it is for the WBC Women's Super Featherweight World Championship. Introducing your fighters. First, fighting out of the blue corner, wearing the red, gold, and black trunks. Standing 5 feet 9 inches tall, she weighed in at 127.2 pounds. She comes to the ring representing boxing team Hooglid with a record of 50 wins, 3 losses, and 20 big wins coming by way of knockout. Fighting out of and representing Hooglid, Belgium, ladies and gentlemen, here is the quiet Delfine Persoon. Her opponent across the ring, fighting out of the red corner, wearing the black trunks with white. Standing 5 feet 6 inches tall, she weighed in at 129.4 pounds. She comes to the ring representing Team Veyre with a record of 10 wins and only 1 loss. Fighting out of and representing Montreal, Canada, ladies and gentlemen, here is Caroline Veyre. Referee Ben Rodriguez with final fight instruction.
Okay, ladies, belt line is good right here where it is. Belt line is good at the bottom of the letters. You both received my instructions, so you know that I expect a clean fight. Follow the rules, obey my commands, and protect yourselves at all times. Touch gloves. God bless you both.
So, a matchup we have very much been looking forward to comes our way. Caroline Veyre from Montreal, Canada, born in France, moved to Canada when she was 18 years old because her mother was getting cancer treatment there, stayed there, and ended up representing them at the Olympics. Delfine Persoon, long-time boxing champion, works as a railway police person in Belgium, and says, I don't fight for the money, I fight for the glory.
Yeah, Persoon's made it clear that pressure is her game plan. She said from round 1 until round 10, I'm coming and I'm going to bring the pressure. So this should be a great barn burner.
And boy, right off the bat, Persoon throws a long right hand. That's her calling card. And Caroline Veyre is going to want to box and use this ring, but that right hand from Persoon will be persistent tonight.
So far, Veyre doing the correct thing. Once she in doubt, she was holding on. She grabbed the Persoon and got back on the outside, using her jab and using her angles, changing levels. You're going to see Veyre move a lot. She's going to use the whole ring, and she's got to keep boxing in that way, in circles. She can't afford to square up and stand in front of Persoon.
Well, we're getting a lot of action on X, and here, look at that. No surprise that my guy Najee is an intense smash hit on the mic. So you're getting a lot of positive feedback here, Najee, in your first appearance here on this series.
Well, salute to Jake, and salute to my co-host.
Yeah, there you go. Now, here in round number 1, we've seen Persoon she wants to be a volume puncher in this fight. They've made that very clear, and she's trying to do that and getting some shots in, but Caroline Veyre firing back. 2-minute rounds, of course, in women's boxing, and we're already in the last half minute of round number 1, scheduled for 10. See the awkward attack of Delfine Persoon. It comes at you in so many different ways. So round 1 passes into the night. Both women kind of get a feel for what. Head into round number 2 in this WBC Super Featherweight women's title match. Caroline Veyre on the left of your screen from Montreal, Canada. The Olympian, 10-1 as a pro, taking on the experienced Delfine Persoon from Belgium.
Yeah, so far Carolyn following her game plan, staying very relaxed in there, doing what she's supposed to do against a veteran like Persoon. You know, she's not gonna have to find Persoon. Anything she throws, I mean, she's gonna catch her because Persoon is squaring up a lot, and she's running into a lot of Carolyn's shots.
I also like the way Carolyn is carrying the weight. You know, she's moved up. This is her first time at 130 pounds, but she says that she's here for the opportunity, and she has a couple of different weight classes that she can fight in. This one specifically, she's looking really good carrying the extra pounds tonight.
Persoon working on the inside, trying to get something done. Some awkward action, which we expected to see during the course of this. Persoon pursuing her in that awkward way, and that happens so much. That's just the way she fights, and she's trying to land however she can do it. We mentioned, of course, her two great fights with Katie Taylor. The first one, a disputed decision. And now at age 41, still battling. She had a fight 2 fights ago against Alicia Baumgartner. Well, a warning from the referee for holding to Persoon. And also Caroline Veyre, so.
I think Persoon needs to use her jab a lot more. She's got a jab in. She just can't rush in like she is because she's going to get countered all the time. If you look at Carolyn's speed, it's too much. It's in her movement. It's really a confusing perform.
Well, Persoon throwing some left hooks on the inside, and so that ends a kind of a messy round number 2 in the scheduled 10-rounder. Well, the ring, high stakes, sees WBC welterweight king Mario Barrios puts his world title on the line against Ryan Garcia in a 12-round blockbuster. Main event on Saturday, February 21st from the T-Mobile in Las Vegas, and that'll be streaming live worldwide on DAZN pay-per-view. There is Delfine Persoon, who is 41 years of age. 2 fights ago, had a fight with Alicia Baumgartner, who of course owns the other 3 world championships in this weight class, and it ended up being a no contest from a clash of heads. She had a ligament injury during that fight that may have come before the fight. She suggested she was hurt going in, which may have hampered her a bit, although certainly Baumgartner performed very well in that fight, though it ended up as a no contest. Well, now she's trying to get another title as Caroline Veyre tries to get her first world title. And
yeah, Persoon definitely has that experience. I mean, just being in there 20 rounds with Katie Taylor.
Veyre's landing a left hook. Veyre landed a very good left hook in the Budarza fight. That punch got much better for her, and in this fight, it figured to be important, and she is landing it against Persoon on several occasions.
She sure is. She's setting it up, though. You can see her using the stab to the body, and it kind of gets Persoon's guard down. So she used the stab to the body and threw the hook upstairs, and she's having some success.
She's also smothering Persoon's momentum, aggressiveness. She's playing very smart. You know, she does her work and holds on to her, grabs her, and gets back on the outside.
Good body work there by Veyre as she was on the inside. It's been a tough fight in terms of refereeing, and the referee is admonishing them both from time to time.
Yeah, the awkwardness from Persoon, the way she comes in and attacks, and when they clinch, nice right hand there by Caroline.
Yeah, Veyre landed a right hand, and then Persoon came back with her own, and Veyre's doing very good counterpunching here and showing excellent movement. And this kind of aggression from Persoon you're going to see throughout the 10 rounds. She's going to hope she can sneak in a right hand that will change this fight.
Good body shots, man.
That'll do it for round number 3.
Well, what we see here, you know, Veyre is doing a good job of using that stab to the body. I think she's creating the distance and sort of weaving all the wild shots. Conversely, what we're seeing from Persoon is that aggression and that motor. I think she's doing what she can do to sort of muck it up. That's her job, that's her game. So she's working on the inside to make it a little dirty and gritty. But I've been impressed with Veyre because she's been able to match that. She's getting gritty back herself on the inside.
We head into round number 4 of the scheduled 10-rounder for the WBC Super Featherweight Championship. Delfine Persoon taking on Caroline Veyre. Persoon landing a left hook there. She doesn't throw that punch very much. And this kind of action is what we've seen a lot throughout this fight. Persoon has not been able to use the jab instead of the straight right hand, and there's some very good counter work on the inside by Veyre.
Persoon needs to jab to the chest. Forget about.
Yeah, I agree with
There's head, because her movement is unbelievable. She's very fast, so she's got to jab to the chest and avoid those wild shots, because every time she swings wild, she gets countered by Caroline.
Well, Veyre said that movement is going to be the key to this fight, and it has been, because while she has moved, she hasn't run around the ring. She's moved side to side, sometimes in the pocket, and just giving angles to Persoon.
Yeah, she's boxing in circles and staying away from the ropes, staying away from the corners, and doing damage like she is right now.
Big right hand there by Veyre. And Veyre is holding on a lot with that left arm, and she's going to get a warning for it. Well, let's see. Oh, point deduction.
Wow. Okay. I'm surprised by that. I didn't see a warning for a back of the head shot.
To be honest, there's a lot of that going around for both fighters, and
it is. It's kind of hard to call, but Persoon did say she just wanted a fair fight.
Yeah, she was very concerned about the officiating on every level, both in the ring and outside it. And I don't know. I guess people can decide whether that was appropriate or not.
I see some swelling around Veyre's right eye. I don't know if it's from Persoon's jabs or maybe they're butting heads in the inside, and elbows, but you know, her right eye looks pretty busted up.
Ben Rodriguez, of course, the referee, and he takes a hand here in this round with the point deduction. And we're going to head into round number 5 with now Delfine Persoon dealing with an issue after that point deduction, shaking her head. She is perplexed.
Yeah, not too happy about that.
Working on the
right eye.
The right eye.
I was talking about. I don't know if it's Persoon's jab or are there button heads in the inside?
Yeah, I saw a couple of head clashes in there on the inside.
Awkward action on the inside as they are together, and that was where Rodriguez jumped in and decided. First, I thought he was cautioning Veyre about holding the left hand. It turned out he was getting ready to take a point away from Delfine Persoon, who is still shaking her head.
I thought he was going to take a point for the hold-in. Persoon did hit her in the back, but I don't think she meant to do that. I mean, you're in the action, the moment.
Well, it stands as a point deduction, so that clearly is going to impact the scoring of this fight as we're heading into the second portion of the match. And we're heading into round 5. And speaking of scorecards, let's go to Adam Abramowitz and let's see what he has. Well, he's got this shutout for Caroline Veyre and a 10th round the last one. And now Ben Rodriguez Shields and Delfine Persoon are in an active debate every 2 seconds. And, you know, now there's Delfine Persoon shows her disdain for referee Rodriguez. She's very, listen, she said at the fighter meeting that she was concerned about how she would be treated here. She felt bad about the situation with Taylor and everything, and now it's degenerated. And now Ben Rodriguez delivering a lecture to her to get in the neutral corner. Now points deducted from Veyre. Alrighty, well,
the referee's playing a major factor in this fight.
Boy, is he ever. Well, there's been a lot of action on the inside that has been questionable, and so we motor into the last part of round number 5 in what has turned into a kind of a messy affair here, which happens sometimes in Delfine Persoon's fights, but not as much as we're seeing right now. It's been just, it turned out a clash of styles that hasn't been as appealing in some ways as we might have imagined.
I agree, Al. The messiness sort of leads for Persoon. That's better for her. The more messier it gets, it seems.
Yeah, a lot of holding on the inside. It's
yeah, I think, but honestly, I think Persoon really needs to watch Veyre's head when she's, you know, if you see Veyre, she's the one that's coming in with her head, so that could cause a cut over Persoon's eyes. The way she seems a little bit taller, and Veyre gets down low with her head and rushes in, so you got to watch that.
Great point, Raul.
Well, we're going to head into round number 6, and a variety of things has made this fight very tricky. And Veyre landed a nice right hand just a moment ago, and we're halfway through this fight. Well, Claressa Shields weighs in. Very unique matchup, yes.
Yes, it is.
She is, you know what? Claressa is not always known for her diplomacy, but that is a very diplomatic tweet.
Actually, she's being nice by saying very unique, because it's a pretty ugly fight.
Yeah,
let's be honest. I mean,
you know, sometimes fighters get in the ring and the way they mesh doesn't always create what they want. Now, having said all that, we're in the middle of a 10-round fight. There's been a point deducted from each fighter, so that part kind of nullifies itself. And at both corners trying to figure out what can we do to get our offenses working and make this less of a wrestling match.
Absolutely. Also, shout out to Claressa Shields, the undisputed heavyweight champion, weighing in.
Yes, undisputed, and she's going to be defending her titles against Franchon Cruz-Dezern. Some more awkward action here in round number 6. Persoon landing a little left hook on the inside, and they just can't keep distance from each other, and that's been a problem here. There's a good movement of Veyre that we've seen.
Well, I feel every time Persoon gets some kind of momentum going or touches Veyre, grabs her and holds on and puts her head down. I mean,
yeah,
that's what I'm seeing. I call what I see.
No, big right hand by Veyre, and when she has punching range, Veyre's landing some good shots.
That was not a good slip. She could actually gotten hurt off of that, the way she fell.
Not called the knockdown.
Yeah, the decal seems a bit wet there.
So, more awkward action. There's water in the corner there, where she went down. Now, in this round, what we have seen is some very good offensive work from Veyre when she's had a chance to do that.
Absolutely. She's been taking the angles. I think the times that I see her using the jab and taking the angles, she's having a bit of success.
The difference here is Persoon wants a toe-to-toe matchup. She's trying to really fight and not hold. She's boxing and moving and holding, and she's doing what what he's supposed to do with a fighter like Persoon.
Body work there by Veyre, and Persoon trying desperately to get some offense going, and the defensive acumen of Veyre has made that difficult for her.
We see that was a good solid jab, good straight shots by Caroline Veyre, and the slip, you know, it was there was some water on that corner, and that's what caused that nasty slip. But this was you know, making her miss, going under. I think the most important thing about Caroline Veyre is that she's keeping the fight in the center of the ring. She's taking one step back and staying away from the ropes and the corners, and I think that's helping her. I think she's winning the fight. It's not a pretty fight, but she's definitely ahead of my scorecard.
You see the bruise on her right eye. We don't know whether that came from a punch or a clash of heads. It hasn't been adjudicated, or that we've seen in any case. A reminder, both fighters had points taken away by referee Ben Rodriguez, so that part of the scoring is kind of nullified. And we head into the latter stages of this fight. The seventh round, and Caroline Veyre kind of charging in, and just, you know, when she's on the inside, she does a lot of that grabbing because she doesn't want to have to battle it out there. She'd rather have it at range where she can land those kind of punches.
Every time she sets up her shots, Caroline Veyre, from the body first, she's having success upstairs. She's done that combination about 3 good times, and it's worked each time.
Jab, an up jab gets in by Veyre, and then she holds on the inside. Good hook by Veyre, which is a new part of her arsenal. And we're a minute into round number 7 already. One thing Persoon has been unable to do is land a straight right hand from outside. And now Ben Rodriguez warning Veyre about holding, and man, there's been a lot of it. So
I'll tell you what is surprising is he hasn't taken another point away from that excessive holding.
It's coming.
Now Persoon's problem is she can't land the right hand because
He went the other way. But I'm telling you, she's not doing that intentionally. Like, she's just frustrated and.
In truth, there was no reason for that point deduction because Veyre's head was to the right, and Persoon's trying to land a right hand. But it is what it is. Ben Rodriguez has taken 3 points away now in an effort to kind of make this fight less messy, but
they're the headbutts
doing it. So seconds remaining here in round number 7, and another round in which a point has been deducted. Good jab by Veyre, so when she can do offense and is able to, she does. Persoon just visibly distressed and frustrated. And in the meantime, she can't land well against Veyre because her defensive movement has been good. 7 rounds in the book. And it's swelling around the right eye of Caroline Veyre. May have come from clashes of heads, though they haven't ruled that officially that we've seen. Or they may have come from a punch. It may have started from a punch. Well, And we'll look at Adam Abramovich's card. He still has Caroline Veyre controlling this fight. Not really any rounds for Delfine Persoon. And of course, the last round, a 10-8 round because of the point deduction. And round number 5, where the point deduction was taken away from Veyre, Adam made that a 9-9, I'm presuming because he thought Veyre had won the round and made it an even round. So, can Persoon make something offensive happen? We don't know. That's unofficial scoring, of course. We don't know how the judges are seeing it. And a minute already gone here in round number 8.
This is a tougher round to score for me. I think this, to me, Persoon is probably having, her best work done in this round.
Agree.
Yeah, Persoon really has to try to, create that distance. Maybe just put her jab hand out there and don't allow Veyre to come in and try to land straight shots down the middle, because Veyre just keeps rushing in with her head, and she'll land 2 or 3 shots, which look good, from different angles fast, but then she's right in there and in her chest, holding on to her out.
The problem is the left arm of Veyre, has, and I'm sure that was a tactic they wanted to use a little bit in this fight. Good exchange.
Nice right hand.
Oh, man, and maybe a right hand by
Persoon.
Veyre. Persoon able to get the right hand in.
That may have been her best punch of the fight.
Well, it probably was Persoon's best round of the fight. There's no question about that. And as we're heading into the final round of this fight, that was the penultimate round of this fight, not the final round. And still to come in our main event, Josh Pagan, lightweight contender, now ranked 11th by the WBO, is getting ready to defend his NABO crown against Brian Jimenez. Brian Jimenez, the southpaw from Nicaragua, he comes in with an 18-2 record. And he is a rough customer who likes to get inside and make it a tough brawl. And we'll see how well he can do that against Josh Pagan. So we head into the 9th round in this fight, the penultimate round in this 10-rounder. Just to recap, 3 points taken away, 2 from Delfine Persoon, 1 from Caroline Veyre, in what has been a bit of a messy affair. Good right hand by Veyre, and Veyre on the inside, again wrapping her up, and a right hand that gets to the head of Veyre. Let's see what happens here. Again, a warning and a point from Ben Rodriguez. For holding. Well, and
I agree.
I agree with that. I got to be honest, because Veyre is holding on every possible occasion. So, but somewhere along the line here, something had to change for this fight to become a little more intriguing. But it's just hard for it to do that. Veyre landing and Veyre kind of jumping in and holding again. She's going to have to resist that temptation to avoid yet another point deduction. Good hook there by Veyre, but her instinct is to get inside and wrap her up.
Yeah, she hits, and then she grabs, she holds,
and that's a problem in a fight like this. It's what's creating some of the action, and it's not even something that we've seen from Caroline Veyre before. That clearly was part of the strategy here, but I think they probably wanted less of it. In any case, we're less than a minute left to go here in round number 9.
It's a lot of excessive holding. Like you said, I've never seen her fight that way, but obviously that was her game plan, or maybe she feels Persoon's strength and power.
Yeah, that's possible
she gets
too.
hit.
Yeah, maybe. And it seems that left arm wrapping around the head of, and again, Ben Rodriguez gives her a warning about it. It's intriguing because mixed in with some of that has been a skill set from Veyre that's been effective in this fight. but it just hasn't been enough to overcome everything.
Yeah, Persoon seems to be very frustrated by all the holding here.
And Persoon's an awkward fighter, so some of that kind of falls at her doorstep, but I think in this instance it's a lot more of the holding by Veyre. Frustration on the part of Delfine Persoon. So, we're heading into the final round. George Thibault, the trainer of Delfine Persoon, urging her to some ways he hopes will get some offense going.
Now going into the 10th and final round.
We head into the 10th round of this super featherweight championship match. And it has been a struggle to kind of, oh boy, a little frustration by Delfine Persoon there. Persoon has been 10 rounds 16 times, if you can imagine that, and Veyre has been 10 rounds 3 times. And as we are into this final round. Adam Abramowitz thinks that Persoon came back in 8 and 9, and of course one of those was a 10-8 round, so that has an impact on the scoring as well. It tightened it a little bit on his scorecard. Now, a knockdown somewhere along the line here could have an impact, but we're running out of time for that. We've seen no one hurt. Veyre looked like she was stunned for a moment by her right hand at one point, but not close to going down.
Yeah, she might be winded too, you know, from all the wrestling, and falling down, slipping, and look, she's got great legs. She's been moving for 10 rounds consistently, and she has a tough veteran in Persoon that has taken all her shots and keeps coming forward. Look at that, she just landed a big shot again.
Good left hook, and then she runs in and holds. So remember again.
Yep.
I mean, the problem is there's no way to get around that. That's kind of a dynamic in this fight. That's
absolutely. This has been a really muddy fight, gentlemen. Altogether, overall, the holding, the clenching, the headbutts, it's been really muddy.
Yeah, and that's a shame because we have two really good fighters in here, and it's just they've not meshed.
The crowd is a bit unhappy.
This fight will end.
Oh, they're not happy with each other because they didn't say good fight.
On a note that was symbolic of the way it went. Neither fighter happy with, I don't think, the way Delfine Persoon, very animated. She has a very animated personality, and you know, that's coming through here. Well, on February 22nd in Detroit, pound-for-pound great Claressa Shields defends her undisputed heavyweight title against longtime rival Franchon Cruz-Dezurn, chasing another victory in one of her fiercest rivalries, and that's live on the global home of boxing. That's going to be a really good one on February 22nd. Two women who fought in their first pro fight and are fighting again. Well, there is Caroline Veyre, who finished this 10-round fight in much the fashion that it went through during the course of the 10 rounds, with a lot of awkward action, and she showed a lot of defensive skills and some offensive skills during it, but had points taken away for holding twice. And there's Delfine Persoon, who is not happy with. She's not happy with the corner of Caroline Veyre, and they came into this fight distressed about what they were worried about. Yep, she's demonstrative about what she feels about the officiating, and I don't think you can put it any plainer than that. There's Ben Rodriguez, who has gotten much of her ire. Now the question is, where does it go with the scoring, Najee?
That's a good one, man. It was, I think I have Veyre ahead on my scorecard, but it's hard to tell. It was such muddy action. I think Persoon had a couple of rounds late that could have went her way, some swing rounds late.
Delfine Persoon delivering a lecture to Caroline Veyre. Well, you know, it is what it is. Let's go up to Pete Pervino.
Ladies and gentlemen, please put a big round of applause together for both of the fighters in the center of the ring. WBC supervisor tonight, Mr. Esteban Ruesga, is here to present the belt to your winner. Now reading the judges' scorecards. Judge DeYoung scores the matchup 95-91. Judge Delgado scores the matchup 94-92. And Judge Santino scores the matchup 98-88 for your winner by unanimous decision and new women's super featherweight champion of the world, Caroline Veyre.
Well, Caroline Veyre gets the unanimous decision by scores of 95-91, 94-92, 98-88, and Delfine Persoon appears to have won some of the hearts here based on some of the frustration of the way the fight went. But in any case, she leaves with a unanimous decision loss, and Caroline Veyre gets the win. You can always count on Vincent Santino to deliver an absurd score, which he did at 98-88. But Raul Marquez is with the winner. Let's go upstairs.
Thank you, Al. Caroline, you're the WBC Super Featherweight World Champion. Are you happy?
I'm very happy. It was a lot of hard work. 20 years of hard work, dedication to get there. And I finally get my shot, and I won it. And I deserve my spot today. I fought very hard to get it.
How do you describe this fight, and what do you think about the crowd?
It was a really hard fight. You know, boxing is about hit and don't get hit. And I was getting her real clean, but every time she was hitting me, it was dirty boxing. It was behind the head. It was during the clinch. So it was a dirty fight, but I did what I can. In this fight was a very good experience for me. You know, Delfine, she is a former world champion, and I'm very happy to have shared the ring with her. I'm very proud. I'm honored actually to have shared the ring with her, and I thank her very well. And I'm very proud of my performance tonight.
I know you moved up to 130 pounds for the opportunity, but I know you considered, maybe moving back down to 126 and even 122 if there's other opportunities. What are your plans now after this?
You know, I moved up at 130 because I didn't have any opportunity. I went team 6, but I'm very happy to have this opportunity now at 130. But if I can go back down, eventually at 126 and 122, I'm able to do it. But right now, I'm gonna sit down with my team and see the options for me at 130. But we want to make the best fight possible at 130 for sure.
Is there anyone you want to call out?
I'm not calling out anybody. I'm ready to fight anybody. I don't fear no one. And I believe in my team, I trust my team, and I know they're going to choose the best things for me.
Congratulations on winning the world title. Back to you, Al.
All right, thank you, Raul. Well, Caroline Veyre pleased with the fact that she got a world championship. Obviously, the fight was something that didn't appeal to everyone, and there was a lot going on. Najee, here, I'm going to leave it to you to look at this and talk to us.
That's right, Al. You know, the crowd is voicing their displeasure. Carolyn Veyre seems very happy. But we saw a couple of different things tonight. When she utilized her jab, we saw some effectiveness. As you can see there, the movement, she likes to slip under and take the angle and counter over top. But the other times where Persoon was coming forward, it started to get a lot muddy, and we saw a lot of holding. The ref definitely played a big factor in this fight, taking 4 points. I don't think I've seen that in a while, gentlemen. But here, we see a lot of the work inside from Persoon, you know, holding and hitting. But again, I think the times that Caroline was most effective was when she was utilizing the jab upstairs and downstairs and utilizing her footwork and movement. Yeah, a lot of hitting behind the head. It was a really muddy one tonight, gentlemen.
Yeah, there was, between the hold